Welcome to K-Drama School. I'm your host, Grace Jung, and class is now in session. I have a few show date announcements. So if you are in Chicago, I will be at Zanies at 8 p.m. on March 30th. On the same night, I'm going to be at Discount Comedy Therapy Show, which is at Berks Public House, 8 p.m. And then on March 31st, I will be at the Comedy Bar in Chicago at 8 p.m. And then on April 2nd, I will be at Chicago's Laugh Factory, 7:30. So find me at these shows, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. Today, I'm going to talk about the show Now We Are Breaking Up, which is an SBS drama from 2021. It stars Song Hye-kyo and Chang Ki-yong. For some reason, this show was completely under my radar. I was very pleasantly surprised to find it, and then I binged it in like a week and a half. It is written by a writer named Jae-in, who I am not familiar with, but she wrote the show Misty, which is a JTBC drama, and it is currently on Netflix in the United States. So check that one out. I guess I have to check it out because I did like Now We Are Breaking Up. It's a unique show. A few things about this show: it focuses on a female protagonist named Young-eun, who is a head designer at a very large design firm, but she has her own line named Sono, and it's struggling while competing with some of the other brands. And Young-eun is also a very modern woman, so she is down to fuck. Yeah, she has a one-night stand with a man named Mr. J, aka Cheguk, and he is really into her after a one night stand. Uh, some of the things that don't add up for me about this show is, why is a guy who has a one night stand with you really, really into you? Like, um, very rarely after a hookup is a guy really, really interested in you. I don't know. I mean, is this true? Okay, I've had my share of like first date hookups, or just like hooking up with a random guy that I meet at a bar or whatever. Like I've had my fun in my 20s, all right? Let's put it that way. And I would say in those instances, yeah, okay, there were follow-ups, but it was never for like a committed relationship. Maybe that is the distinction I'm trying to make here, okay? It was more so that they can continue to fuck again. It wasn't like, oh, I not only do I want to have sex with you, but I also want you to be my committed partner. That's what makes these shows nowadays so ridiculous for me. And it's always been ridiculous because none of these men have ever been realistically, um, how do I say, convincing, right? But they are now adding, these contemporary K dramas are now adding the layer of sexual politics, and it is not at all realistic in my from my perspective, from where I stand. That's just my personal stance. If you go and have hookups and then all these men want a full, committed, wholesome relationship with you, hey, you go. You go, okay? But as for the rest of humanity, this is really not the case. That is really, really not the way to get a man to commit to you, by putting out immediately. Okay, that's number one. I'm not being like a Christian mom right now. I'm just reaffirming what all Christian moms have said, and they were all correct. Another thing that doesn't add up for me is, why is Youngun not loving again after 10 years? Okay, like, she dated a guy for 2 months. All right, they dated and it was intense, whatever. But then her lover dies, and then she just never hears about it. Like, how is that possible? I find this really bizarre. It's also really odd listening to really terrible French being exchanged between Youngun and Mr. J after their first hookup. I was like, what is going on? What is happening? It was really bizarre. C'est très bizarre, as they say in French. Some moving moments about this show. when Misuk returns to modeling. That I was very, very teary eyed. Okay. It was a little bit morbid when she made comments about how the cancer made her very thin enough to become a model again. Uh, but killing off the protagonist's best friend when women are in their late 30s seems to be some kind of trend in K dramas these days, right? Like, if you're watching 39, you know what I'm talking about. I'm still analyzing this sort of pattern that I'm noticing. But there is a hint of nationalism. Not a hint, it's like actually very apparent. There's a definite, substantial layer of nationalism in this Korean drama, and appropriately so, I say, because I thought it was very interesting to see a show that places Korea in the underdog's position and then allows it to rise to the top. Whereas in the past, K dramas I've seen, Korean businesses were always struggling to seek the approval of a white company abroad. And this is another pattern I'm noticing in Korean dramas as of late. And these shows are not afraid to say no or clap back in business strategies where they take a political stance for Korea. And it's interesting to see these moves being made by a female executive in the fashion industry. I think this was perhaps Song Hye-kyo's best performance in a dramatic series. I've always struggled with Song Hye-kyo's acting, and this is not just me, but this is all of Korea. They all struggled with Song Hye-kyo's acting abilities. But she was very good in this role on this show. I mean, like, she's been in the business for, over 20 years now, and she is really showing her seasoned abilities as a performer. I think the other show she shone in very brightly is Full House, because she plays more of a comedic role, but I have generally had trouble dealing with her in dramas. But this one, she's very good. I was really happy to see her working. But with actors like Song Hye-kyo and Song Seung-on, I do wonder what becomes of them once they get a little too old. Like, as they keep getting older, what's going to happen? Because they're now both in their 40s. What kinds of roles will be coming to them? I'm very curious. Will they continue to play the hottie in romantic dramas? Right? I mean, I don't know, because like Lee Byung-hun is sort of, how do I say, he's in the queue. He's due for another K-drama written by a very, very famous writer, and he is in his 50s. Is he still going to be playing the lead, the stud? Maybe. I mean, I guess for some of these beautiful people, it just keeps going, huh? I was rewatching Lovers in Paris, and I saw Jung Yeri playing a mother to a 30-year-old son when she was 44 as an actress. Okay, so I guess it just depends on the actor, right? It depends on the actor and what role they're going to get, but still, it makes a person wonder. One major fun fact that I noticed about Now We Are Breaking Up is that the photography studio that Mr. J sets up is the exact same building that was used in the drama When a Man Loves, and it was the bookstore owned by Mido's family, the one starring Song Seung-on. So, interestingly, there is a 6 degrees of separation between Song Hye-kyo and Song Seung-on through this one setting on both of these shows, right? And you heard it here first. You heard it here first on K-Drama School. That is not a fact that you could get on Naver. That is a fact that you got here. So please credit K-Drama School. Today's guest is Julia Stone. She is a very funny comedian. She's based in Los Angeles. I actually had a nice show with her this very evening. She's dropping some knowledge. Let's talk to Julia Stone. Hey, that's a nifty headset.
Oh, I work for a video game company, so it's required to look like this. So
That sounds fun. What do you do there?
I do marketing for them, so I'm a marketing producer.
Oh shit. So does that mean what does that mean?
It, it literally means I bother people while trying to be as least annoying as possible, basically. It's just like, hey,
Oh.
that those things that we need to publish to market this stuff, did you get that done? Cool. Yeah. And
Yeah, yeah.
this other stuff we're going to need to publish soon. What do we need to do for that? Blah, blah, blah. Those types of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm coming to realize that that's what work is. All work is bothering people to do
Uh-huh.
something that you don't want to do and they don't want to do.
100%. work is just school, but nobody's checking your homework until it's too late. And then all of a
until
sudden
it's too
it's like,
late.
oh,
Yeah.
you didn't do that thing that
Yeah.
we now are
You're
getting yelled at for not doing.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. We're getting yelled at or we're getting fired or the company's going bankrupt or
exactly.
something. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's yeah, it's the worst. I don't know what to do about that. Like how do I escape that system? I'm trying to get
Well,
there. I'm trying to figure it out.
I think the only way without just being famous for being famous is to be the one yelling at people. So that's why everybody wants to be in charge. They're like, I don't want to get yelled at. I want to yell at people. So
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I don't even want to yell at people. That's the
yeah,
other
me either.
thing. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. People think that
No.
like it's like, oh yeah, Grace is she could get fiery and they think I enjoy it. It's like, no, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it, you know?
I don't enjoy that you made me yell at you, is how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Let's focus on the discomfort that you caused, not
yeah,
the result. Yeah, 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 yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
That's they always miss that part, you know?
Hmm.
Like years ago, I was on the set of a short film that I was
Hmm.
producing, and the director had um to put it in extreme words is to say he assaulted me,
Oh
but
my
to put
God.
it in like less extreme words is like he slapped my ass in front of like crew
Oh my
members
God.
in a
That is
restaurant. Okay, so
awful.
we could call that assault, right?
Yeah,
So because he did that, I punched him in the face.
that feels like a fair trade.
I think so. But I just became the talk of the town as the producer who punched the director in the face. Do you know what I'm
Oh my.
saying?
Yeah,
Nobody asked why did she punch him in the face? What did he do? Nobody asked it. They just said Grace punched the director in the face.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what
because
that yeah.
obviously it was normal that he slapped your ass because, that just happens.
That's a
But,
given.
punching somebody in the face is like,
That's a
whoa,
no-no.
Grace, what did you
Yeah.
do?
How
Yeah.
dare you?
Yeah.
You were out of line there, Grace. Yeah, for
100%. Yeah.
punching a dude in the face. Fucking
I'm
people,
surprised you're not in
man.
jail, honestly. So,
Yeah, no, I should have been imprisoned for that. Yeah, you're right.
for
10
life. Yeah.
floggings. For life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for life. Yeah. No, it's fine. Okay, so you work. That's good. That's really good. I don't work right now, and
That's amazing.
it is amazing, but it's also like, what am I doing, you know? I kind of
Hmm.
struggle with yeah, with feelings of like I feel like a loser, you know?
Hmm.
I don't know if
You
that
you feel like a loser if you have a job too, so don't worry. Like that's just a
That's
universal
true.
feeling. So
It just
we're gonna feel like
doesn't
losers
stop.
regardless. We're gonna find
Yeah.
a way.
Employed or unemployed, loser feeling. God damn it.
100%.
Where's the
Yeah.
escape of that?
Yeah.
There's so many things I want to escape. Uh,
Yeah.
okay. Fuck. How long
I'm
have you
sorry
been
to
in
give you
L?
an existential crisis all of a sudden.
No, 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 no. It's okay. You're trust me, you're not the one inducing it. It's self-induced and I do it moment by moment every single day. So how long have you been in LA or are you from SoCal?
I've lived in LA since I was 10, but my
All right.
family is from New Zealand, and that's where I was born. And then we moved to
Whoa.
Canada when I was 5. So that's why I have like a North American accent. And I moved here when I was 10.
Whoa. Holy
So,
shit. So you're a Kiwi.
hmm, yeah, yeah,
Whoa. Do you go back
yeah.
there?
Yeah, all my extended family is still there. So my dad used to
Whoa.
work for Air New Zealand, so that was why we moved so much. And then
Mm.
we used to get cheaper flights, so we used to go back once or twice a year. But it's nice to have an exit strategy, is how I feel about it.
Fuck yeah.
So, especially when
Yeah.
they're kind of crushing it in general. So,
Uh-huh. And New Zealand's really beautiful, isn't it?
yeah, it's super like scenic, and Lord of the Rings obviously really blew it up already. So people
Yes.
ever since have been obsessed. But I've never had
Yeah.
someone go and be like, I didn't like it. So,
Yeah. I saw that Jane Campion film I'm a big fan of Jane Campion, but I watched her film what is it, Year of the Dog or something?
oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, okay. It's on Netflix. Kirsten Dunst is in it. Jesse
Okay,
Plemons is in it.
okay,
Benedict Cumberbatch is in it. Uh,
nice.
and it's
Just all
supposed to
blonde and pale people.
it's
Just like that
very
was the
very
casting for that.
Aryan film, yes. But it's set in Montana. Like the film
Okay.
is it was a book originally, and Jane Campion adapted it for the screen, and it's set in Montana. The story set in Montana, but they shot it in New Zealand during the
Okay.
pandemic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I could see how you would make that distinction. Like there's a lot of sheep and farmland and things. I don't
uh-huh.
know if they have sheep in Montana. I assume there's farmland though.
There's a lot of sheep in Montana.
Okay.
A lot. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Uh it was like so epically beautiful. I was like, whoa, my God, is like
You're like,
crazy
I gotta
beautiful over
become
there.
a sheep farmer.
Yeah. New Zealand or in Montana. I mean, you have two
Yeah,
choices, you know?
equally. Yeah.
So,
Just have them
okay.
drop you off in one and then you can figure out where you are.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that'd be something, huh? It's like blindfold somebody and drop them off in like any plain land and be like, can you guess where you are? And if they guess correctly, $100,000.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Appar-
That,
I don't know if you saw there's a like YouTube videos going around of this guy who will hold up a sign and be like, if I don't speak your language, I'll give you $50 or something like that. And he just
ooh,
speaks like dozens of languages and
ooh,
like it's really crazy.
that is a good game. I like that game. Yeah, so that guy, okay, that guy, and then this location game. That's actually,
Yeah.
this is a good reality show pitch. I think we have a good reality show pitch right now. Be like, can you guess where you are? Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
good because we'll give you a job again so you don't feel like a loser. We've come
Thank
full
you.
circle.
Yeah,
So
save me. Fuck, yeah. The great irony is whenever, like, because I'll get like audition stuff come in, but
Mhm.
the ones that are not sent directly from representation, but from like, just the whatever the site, it's
Mhm.
usually reality show shit. And
Mm.
I always just send it right to the trash bin because I'm like, fuck that shit. I would never.
Yeah.
But in terms of coming up with concepts and ideas for shows, like reality TV is the easiest, right?
Hmm.
Because it's
Hmm.
just one formula and then that's it.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
and it's crazy too because you don't even have to get people to do what you want as long as you can piece together from what they've said somehow you'll get what you
Hmm.
want from them. So
All you need is an editor. Yeah. You just
exactly.
need a good editor. And the editors who work on reality TV have like they have it down pat. Like they
Hmm.
understand the system, they understand the
Hmm.
rhythm of it, and they just know exactly how to edit it. So
Hmm.
it's an easy money making thing. I
Yeah.
understand the merits of it. I just don't want to watch it or be a part of it. That's my only
Nothing.
issue.
No reality TV shows. Nothing.
No, no, I don't really watch them. Do you watch them?
I will, if I start one, I'll be like, well, I got to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
So, what I do most of the time is go on Am I the Asshole on Reddit. Do you know
Mm,
that one?
no.
Oh my God, it's this subreddit that is just like I'm gonna chill and go to bed, like read this before bed.
Oh, interesting.
And it's a subreddit where people will pose like a situation that happened and
Uh-huh.
then be like, am I the asshole? Like, am I the one who is wrong here, or is the other person wrong? And the
Oh.
internet decides who the asshole is. And it's
Mm.
great because most of the time it's people who really need the validation that they aren't the asshole and are just surrounded by toxic people. But then when you get people
Oh.
who are the asshole, they are so oblivious to the fact that they are the asshole and people just like wreck them in the comments. So
That's
I feel
also a
like they're
good
doing the
show.
Lord's work, honestly. So
Yeah, yeah. Wow,
I feel
what an
like
amazing forum.
I do feel like it's basically reality TV, but like
Yeah.
short story version of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's amazing. Isn't that interesting? It's like there's no in between. You don't get like an in between person or those are perhaps not worth mentioning because it's so banal that it's like all right, whatever.
So there are options of everybody sucks here in
Yeah.
case everybody fucked up, or
Uh-huh.
there are people where it's like no assholes here, where it's like this is a tough like situation and everybody
Mm.
did their best. Like
Mm,
so those will
interesting.
come up. And then one sometimes you'll see a you're the asshole, but it's justified and we agree with you. So you're technically the
Oh.
asshole, but we're on your side.
Yeah,
So
because you're the hero in this
yeah,
situation.
it's like
Whoever's writing the
in
story.
your producer thing, perhaps you would have been voted you're the asshole, but justified, you know? So I don't think so. I still think you would have been not the asshole if you were going to post this, but
Yeah. Yeah, so in the game show, then it would be like if you guess like let's say you have to still hypothesize, right? And in a hypothesis you have to have an answer that you're predicting or expecting,
hmm
right? And it's like, let's say you present this story, but it's like, do you think they're going to vote you as the asshole or not the asshole? And you
hmm
say, I say they're going to say I'm not the asshole. And
hmm
if that aligns, then you win the money.
yeah.
But if it doesn't align, then you pay the money
You
to
pay
the
the audience.
person that you
Yeah.
no, not even the
Oh yeah,
audience,
you
to
pay
the
your
person.
victim. Yes.
Make it
Oh my God.
worse.
I love
Make
that.
it worse
I
to the
love that.
person that you got into a fight with.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh my God, that would be
And
amazing.
it doesn't
Like,
matter what income level you're at. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Even if you're poverty stricken, you have to take out a loan and fuck yourself up and you have to still pay them.
We're just gonna clear all the court cases that are in civil court right now. I'll be like, we got
Yeah,
this. Don't worry about it
we got
anymore.
it. Yeah. Forget Squid Game. Like, this is a way better show. Way better show. Yeah. The stakes are way higher in this case. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because it has to do with your ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, things associated with the ego feels like life or death. Always.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna kill you. You're just gonna want to kill yourself
Hmm.
because you're gonna be so embarrassed
So
about
humiliated.
this.
On television. On
Yeah.
network television in America. Fuck. Yeah. They're gonna fucking broadcast it all over the globe. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think we
Let's
have
do
something
it.
here.
I
Let's
do.
call
I
our
love it.
management right now and pitch it.
Let's do it.
Wow, that's a great Reddit forum. So okay, when you're reading this before bedtime, like what's the comfort that lulls you to sleep?
I think I love a good because those particular stories I love the most are about when a family member is being insane and then the person gets the validation that like
Um,
no, that family member is insane and being unreasonable. And I'm
mhm.
like, I would love that kind of validation in my life every day actually. So if I
Yes,
can get
yes.
it vicariously through these other people, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
So
interesting. Interesting. So you deal with some tough family members, huh?
yeah, it's you know, I tend to avoid the tough family. It's hard because, like I said, like all my extended family is in New Zealand, so it's
Uh-huh.
only the immediate family here. So it's a very uh
Mm,
select few, and then within
yeah.
the select few,
Yeah.
don't talk to a select few.
I
So
understand.
yeah,
You have a lot of siblings?
I have a twin sister and
And
then an
that's it?
older brother.
Oh, one older brother. Okay.
Yeah,
That's an interesting dynamic. Are
yeah.
you close with your sister?
We're close. We there was a time where we didn't talk very much because we didn't get along, and we didn't get along that much growing up. We were like everyone said we were the worst version of twins because we don't look
Oh.
alike and we didn't
Uh-huh.
get along. We do
Uh-huh.
now and it's fine, but
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, this is not exciting twin behavior at all
Mm-hmm.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are ruining it. Was how we
No.
felt
It's
about
more
it.
interesting. It's more interesting when they don't get along, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Because
twins run oh go ahead.
you expect them to. You expect them to
Yeah.
like mirror each other all the time.
Yeah, it is nice to have a buddy. Like you're always kind of like especially with moving so much, like it was like, oh,
Yeah.
I have like one person to go to this new school with me. So that
Yes.
was always
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
But twins run in my family. I have twin cousins that
Mm.
also have twins and so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
we're producing at a rapid rate is what's happening.
Yeah, it is a genetic thing that I know. It runs in the
hmm
family. Like when I was a kid, I had like this neighborhood friend. They were twin sisters, and if you look at their family photograph, you could see like sets of twins like all throughout like
hmm
the big family. It was an interesting
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so you have an older brother as well. That must have been interesting for him too, to have like siblings who are way closer, biologically and in every which way. And he's also different gender. He's male and sisters.
hmm
Mm,
Yeah. He's also not the best person, so we don't,
mm-hmm.
hang out with him very much. So
Yeah. I figured that that was the sibling you were referring to
Yeah.
when you
You're
were
like, I listened
yeah.
to you and I put two and two together. So
Uh, is your sister also in California?
yeah, yeah, she's like 15 minutes from here. So, but
Oh, holy
life on a
shit.
very different trajectory. Works in HR, is
Uh-huh.
very pregnant with her first kid, like a
Holy shit.
couple weeks away from giving birth.
What?
So, super
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah.
Her first kid.
Mhm.
So you're gonna be an aunt.
Mhm.
Wow. Is that exciting for you?
I'm excited that she's excited. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy for her. I think I will I feel like I'm like I must understand how the dads feel where I'm like it's not real to me yet that she like when I
Huh.
see her holding a baby and she tells me it's her baby, I'll be like, "Wow, you had a baby." Like
Yeah,
but until then I feel like it's not super real. And
I
then
get it.
selfishly, I'm like, oh, so you're not gonna be able to hang out as much, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but I think it's also because like the older that I get, the more I'm like, I don't know if kids are for me, you know? So I
Mhm.
feel like I'm like,
Mhm.
it's not, I'm happy that the people I know that want kids are having kids, but it also makes me a little insecure of like, oh no, your life is going in this direction that I don't know if I'm going, and we're still gonna hang out, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. You know what's funny is my friend, she just had a baby last year. Her son is going to turn 1 in about 2 weeks.
hmm
And when she had her baby, she felt similarly. Like she was afraid that she would not be able to hang out with her friends as much because
mm-hmm.
she's having a baby. So I think it goes both ways.
Yeah,
I
that makes
think
sense.
that fear goes both ways. And yeah, you should just communicate it.
For sure.
Because it's possible that the other party is feeling the exact same way. Like
hmm
in this instance, like, it was my friend who was telling me this herself. She's like, "Please call me. Like I'm never
hmm
that busy, you know." Like
hmm
because I was like, "Yeah, I don't feel like calling or like texting that often because I figure your hands are full because you have a baby, you know."
Yeah.
But she's like, "Yeah, like I'm afraid that everybody assumes that about me and then nobody contacts me again." So I
Mhm.
was like,
Mhm.
oh, so like this fear of like abandonment and neglect go both ways. Yeah.
Mhm. That makes sense.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the baby's fault, really.
We should all just be mad at the baby, is what
Just
I'm
fucking
hearing.
fault the baby.
So,
It's the
yeah.
child's fault. Yeah. You
Yeah.
ruined everything. Not
Yeah.
only your parents' relationship, but their relationship to everybody else around them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Literally just so needy, just demanding everybody's time and
Just so
attention.
loud. Yeah. Fucking use your words. Stop whining, you know? Yeah. Um, okay, that's cool. Yeah, and I think you're right. Like it's the mother who has it in them, you know? So it's their first encounter, so they're the ones that are like experiencing everything, but the people around
Yeah.
them don't have this physical attachment and this physical growth happening in them
Mhm.
that's changing everything in their bodies and their minds moment to moment and their emotions really. But for the outsider, it's like they have to see the physical object to
Mhm.
have any kind of reaction or emotion. So
Yeah. Need to see your
mm-hmm.
end product, yeah, and then see if you
Mm-hmm.
like it. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like let's see how your product is
uh-huh.
and then I'll give a reaction.
Yeah.
But
Then I'll give
I'm
you a
pretty
review.
yeah, and then I'll write about it on Reddit and decide whether you're the asshole or I'm the asshole.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you will feel a lot of love for this baby cuz is it a boy or a girl, do you know?
We don't know. So they're not sharing, so I'm not
Okay.
sure, but
To this we'll call it a non-gender binary child for
there we
now.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. And you will feel immense love for this child once you encounter them, I'm sure, cuz it's your
that's what I hear. Yeah.
yeah, it's your sister's baby. It's your twin
Yeah.
sister's baby. It's gonna look
Yeah.
like you a little bit. Yeah, that'll
Maybe.
be the wild part. Yeah. Imagine if
Um,
this baby looks more like you than your sister.
that would be super crazy. So I'd be like,
That
I
would be
guess it's
wild.
mine now. I don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah, I think yeah, just give me the baby cuz
hmm
if you raise it, kid will just be confused. Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
like, why is my aunt raising me? I don't understand. I think it's also I'm more worried because I've literally held a baby twice in my life, so I have
Oh wow.
zero experience with how to take care of this
Uh-huh.
thing, and so I'm
Yeah.
just like I feel like I'm gonna be for the first 6 months like you know what I don't know if I'm ready to hold your baby. I don't think I'm gonna break it. I don't know if I. But like
Yeah.
I need you to tell me exactly how to sit and just put it in my arms and then take it away maybe 30 seconds later. And then we'll just keep doing reps like that until I understand how to hold this baby. So
Wow. Wait, when were the other two times you held babies?
one was a cousin's baby when we were visiting New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't even remember honestly. I want to say it was probably another cousin also in New Zealand. So
Uh-huh.
all my baby holding experiences in New Zealand. I don't know if it's going to translate to America.
Uh-huh.
We'll see.
Through cousins, yeah. These are cousins' children, and this is
Hmm.
your nephew or niece that you're talking about.
Yeah, and they were
So,
also more like 6 months or a year or something like that. Like I'm like, this
bigger
baby's gonna
babies.
be fresh,
It's gonna be
So
fresh out of the oven. Fucking infant. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Practically a fetus. Yeah. How do you handle a fetus? We don't know. We don't know how to
yeah.
hold those things yet. Okay, fascinating. You're gonna be fine. When I held my friend's baby, he was still an infant, like 3 months old or something. Like I've held babies before, but
Hmm.
this feeling was different. And I think it's because of my age at this point. But like when this baby was like on my shoulder and I was holding it, it felt really good. And I was
Oh
like,
wow.
uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is a new feeling.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
So are you thinking you do want kids?
Well, I just liked that feeling. I don't know if I
Okay.
want to have it just for
Mhm.
that feeling, you know?
Mhm.
But I wonder if this feeling was nice, would it be nice to actually like have a baby and then like watch it
Mhm.
grow and thrive and become a person? I'm sure that would be fucking wild. I'm
Yeah.
sure. But as of now, I don't want one. I'm not like, out getting hammered and trying to get pregnant or anything, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Because
not
that's the way you do it. So
That's the way to do it, really.
yeah,
Just go on a
that's ideal.
rampage. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just go out. Like there's sperm anywhere and everywhere. Why go to a sperm bank? Just go to a bar. Go to your local bar. Hook up with anybody. Fucking
You don't have to
sperm's
go through
free.
the paperwork, none of that.
No,
So
none of that shit. None of that anonymity. Blah blah blah. No, it could be anonymous as long as you're blackout drunk. All right.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. 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 Not there are quite a few women in their like late 30s, early 40s who get knocked up in that way. Like they live their 20s and 30s indecisive. Like, do I want a
Mhm.
kid or not? Don't know, don't care. Working, 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 career, career, career. And then they go out, hook up, get pregnant, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. And they just have a baby. This
I mean,
happens a lot.
I feel like this makes sense. It's like you're forced to now make a decision. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess we'll see what I really wanted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like a decision with stakes because it's like,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, I got pregnant. Like there are friends of mine who get their eggs frozen. There are friends of
Hmm.
mine who are doing in vitro, like all kinds of shit to get pregnant. And I got pregnant without even fucking trying. Just
Hmm.
went out, got hammered, got knocked up, and
There you
then
go.
they're just like, this could be a gift. This could be a
Hmm.
sign. And then they have the baby and then they love it. Yeah, they're very happy that they had the baby. So anyway, I guess that's my 5-year plan. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be my 40th birthday.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
already being a good mom by having a 5-year plan. I think you're ready. So
I'm planning. I'm planning ahead. I'm thinking about my future and my kids' future. Yeah.
yeah, you're
Okay.
crushing it.
I am. I'm killing it. So then like what's your long-term goal here in Los Angeles? Doing comedy.
Doing comedy. I would love to write for a late night. That's like my end all be all of, you know, John Oliver, John
Yeah.
Stewart's back now, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I feel
Political
like
stuff.
that's the dream. Yeah. I feel like, and it's funny because I really don't do very much political comedy. But I feel like I still really admire their ability to take something not only topical but very serious most of the time and
Hmm.
find the humor in it. And
Yeah.
so I love the fast turnaround of things and all that.
Mhm. Yeah. There is a quick expiration date for topical humor.
Yeah.
And so it does require like, being on top of your shit. So I guess you read
Hmm.
the news a lot then?
I used to honestly, and then Trump presidency just wore me out, and I like now that we can all relax a little bit, I've started to do that.
Mhm.
Last couple days with the Ukraine, I was like, all right, we got to get back into this. So never
It's
mind,
crazy.
break's over.
I know. That shit's
But
crazy.
yeah, but that's part of what I like. I'll watch a lot of Seth Meyers and things like that, and I'm like, I really
Yeah.
appreciate you delivering me the short version of this in an entertaining way that
Yeah.
CNN isn't quite giving me. So,
For sure. That's definitely a thing. Yeah, it's that is for some people the only way that they get news. It's through these
hmm
late night TV shows, and it does serve a very useful function. Um, okay, like this is just like a conspiracy theory that just flitted through my mind yesterday. I
I
was at
love
the
it.
Corbin Bowl, Mike.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in Tarzana, and
hmm
I it's like a very like conspiracy theory vibe there. It's a bowling
Okay.
alley, it's the valley, everybody's washed up, and I was just like, I have this feeling that since the US is currently not at war with anybody, well, not like a hot war, there are military bases all around the world, but
hmm
there's no like firing and killing that we know
hmm
of as of now.
Yeah.
Since we just pulled out of the Middle East, I feel like America kind of pushed Putin's buttons or cut a deal with Putin and said, "Why don't you invade the Ukraine and we'll start another war?" I That's just a feeling I have,
Uh-huh.
because America is addicted to war, just like Americans are addicted to alcohol and gluten and fried foods and everything like that. And I just feel like, yeah, yeah, this is
I mean,
probably another money making scheme for the military industrial complex. What do you think?
yeah, I was gonna say the military industrial complex is real, and
Yeah,
so all the weapons dealers right now are like, fuck yeah, let's go, like we're
this is it.
ready, like yeah,
Thank
this is
God. Hmm.
yeah, they've been waiting.
They've been
So
waiting.
yeah, I mean, if you just look at the budget for America, look at how much money we spend on this compared to other things. Like, if we were just chill with being like a slightly less competent leader, not even
Uh
competent,
huh.
it's more of a slightly less dominant leader.
Uh
Oh
huh.
man, the social programs that we could have instead would be amazing.
Amazing. It would be out of
Yeah,
control. It would be bonkers. Like
yeah,
teachers in Europe, teachers in like Switzerland, they get paid six figures.
that is
This is the
crazy to me.
truth.
That
This
is
is the truth.
amazing.
Yeah, teachers in Austria, six figures. They make a handsome salary. Yeah,
Yeah.
even in like bumfuck towns, teachers are well respected individuals. They make a lot of money.
hmm
Yeah. And
Yeah, even
here,
in New Zealand too, it's like the I was we were talking with my aunt and uncle over the Christmas holiday, and they're like, "So what are you guys doing on Christmas?" And we're like, "Oh, we might go see a movie." And they're like, "You can go see a movie? Everything is shut down here because they don't want anyone to be forced to work who's not essential." And I'm like, "What is that like to value people's time?"
oh yeah. Yeah, to like collectively as a
Yeah.
country decide that essential workers whose names are essential workers should be treated with dignity, respect, and that's it, dignity and respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Given a break. Wow. See, that's not something even we would think of. Americans don't even think about that. They're like, you're essential worker, so you're essential to our needs. So you
hmm
better be fucking on the floor. Like
Yeah.
it's like so counterintuitive to what we're calling them.
Yeah.
Mm.
And even so many things like if you look at people who are nurses and things like that and doctors where they have these crazy hours of like, okay, we're going to work for 24-hour shifts. I'm like, actually, as my doctor, I would love for you to be well rested and for me to be the only person you had to see today. Like that would be great if you
Yeah,
could be at the top of your game right now.
yeah. It doesn't make any sense to demand things like bedside manner, from a totally irritable person who's irritable because they're insomniacs and probably drinking lots of coffee and eating like shit. They're completely out of whack. Their
Yeah.
equilibrium is totally out of whack. And to expect a nice bedside manner, which you as the patient should expect because you're a patient
hmm
and vulnerable, but it's like they're not going to be able to give you that because they feel like crap. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're tired from answering emails for 8 hours a day, like and in a bad mood. So think about them.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yes.
like, I'm in a bad mood when I get an email that is directly like, yep, that's something I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
still, how dare you? So
Exact Yeah, imagine somebody just died on your fucking table and somebody shit on the floor while you were there and, whatever, like some disgusting, terrible shit you saw, your brain is traumatized, but you gotta act as if you're professional and numb to it all, and then you go and see a patient whining about a cut on their finger, you know? It's infected nonetheless, but still, it's like, come on,
yeah, they're
you know?
actually dying from sepsis, but yeah,
They're
still.
dying, but you're like, This is a fucking cut on the finger." That's
Yeah,
probably how misdiagnoses happen, right? They're like, "No,
for
that looks
sure.
fine." Like, you
Hmm.
don't I've seen a man with a gash on his face earlier. "You're fine," and they just send your ass home, and you're like, "Oh, am I
Yeah.
fine?" And then you slowly die. Yeah.
I mean, it's like anything else. We all have those days where it's like, I could go above and beyond right now, but you know what? I'm not gonna. So
Yeah,
doctors are no different. I feel like
they're not.
this is slightly unrelated, but slightly related. I had to have the carpet replaced in my apartment. And because the previous people who lived here before we moved in, they must have just let their dog pee all over it or something because it just was awful.
Oh my god.
And the one of the things you have to do when you remove carpet is there are little wood slats that they nail the carpet into that have to be nailed into the floor. And
Hmm,
so we told the carpet guys like, hey, we need the wood slats replaced because those smell like pee. And they're
mm,
like, oh no, we can't do that. And I was like, no, 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 do that or do not do this job because there's no reason to replace the carpet
yeah,
without also replacing the wood that smells like
yeah,
pee. We had
yeah,
this huge back and forth. Turned out they could do it. They didn't have long enough nails with them to do it because they had run out. So they literally asked me to go to Home Depot for them to get them nails so that they could like start on the job like of getting rid of the carpet. But then and so and this was I kid you not, like the fourth time the carpet people came out. And I was so fed up. I was like, I'll go to Home Depot. It's fine. And I like got them nails, came back, and
yeah.
they did it. And I was
Wow.
like, yeah, that is way more work, and I understand, but I need you to do the more work right now.
Yeah. I can't believe that they refused to do that job because they didn't have the nails.
I was like, I don't. Yeah, it's one of those where sometimes I felt bad, like I felt like I'm being so demanding right now, but I'm like, no, I need this to be done. Otherwise, there's going to be pee in this
Pea
apartment, and
smell.
then our dog is going to pee on the carpet.
A
So
hundred
it's going to
percent.
be a
Yes.
huge waste if
Yeah.
we. So I know I'm being difficult right now, but it's because this needs to get done.
Yeah. It does need to get done. Yeah. And it's very normal for like contractors to go to Home Depot and pick stuff up. It's like very much a part of their routine. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what caused them to be so resistant with that one trip to Home Depot and
Yeah,
get
it was
a fucking thing of nails.
it was bizarre,
Wow.
but I was like, you know what? If this is what it's going to take, I will go get these nails because I just do not want to deal with this carpet anymore.
I have a question. Why not call a different contractor?
So we had already bought the carpet through
Uh-huh.
1-800 Empire because
Uh-huh.
jingles do work, and
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
had already placed the order through them. So like already
Yeah.
had a guy come out to like look at the carpet, picked out a new carpet, all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then the contractor's like the next step. So it's like I could have canceled it, but then I would have had to go through the whole process all over again, and like
Mm,
no guarantee that the next contractor is going to be good. And it was like
right.
a few
Right.
times that the contractors came out, and it was different people each time.
Yeah.
So
So these are contractors associated with 1-800 Empire?
yeah, exactly.
Fucking fascinating. See, this is why jingles work because they're corporations and corporations are a fucking mess. How interesting. It's like either way, it was going to be an inconvenience. It's like to go through the whole process again would have been an inconvenience, or going to Home Depot
Mhm.
would have been an inconvenience. But if you go to Home Depot, you would at least get your carpet done
Exactly.
faster. I understand.
Exactly.
Okay.
Choosing
Yeah.
the lesser evil here.
Yeah. 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 No, you're absolutely right. I'm in agreement with you. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't understand how that's related to essential workers. I don't.
It was more of the people will not always do the best job that they can because they're tired and they
Yes.
are, so they're going to do a medium job. But if you,
Yes.
I'm sure these contractors were overworked and had, like, I was the second job of the day, and
Yeah.
so I'm sure these guys, and they were here for like 8 hours. Like, it was a long job.
Holy
So
shit.
I get it, and I
Oh,
understand
I see.
why they just wanted to do it the easiest way possible. I completely
Yeah.
get it. But I was like, I have to live here and
Right.
that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I'm
Holy
sorry,
crap.
but we're going to have to go the difficult route right now.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, yeah.
So that
Okay.
is in my brain how I got to this story.
I understand. I understand. No, and you know what? I think all of us as individuals have had those days where we're just like, I could do it, but I don't fucking feel like it for
Hmm.
whatever reason. It's like
Hmm.
she looked at me wrong, or like I had a day like that. Like I was a fucking brat. I was like 19, 18 or 9. I was like 19. I was working as a hostess at a sushi restaurant in New York. I was a college student, and I was a fucking bitch, and like the restaurant opens at 4:30, but these customers came in at like 4 and they wanted to sit, and we were like, we can't let you in until 4:30.
Hmm.
One of them had to go to the bathroom, and he was like, can I please go to the bathroom? And I was like, no, you can't, because we open at 4:30. And you could tell, like, on his face, like, this was a fucking urgent situation, right? And he was like, please, my friend. I was like, sir, I'm not your friend, and these are the rules. And I mean, I did have some reason to be a fucking asshole, and it's because my boss would get so angry at us. This is the yelling thing,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Gets so angry with us if we let anybody into the, like, past the gates
Hmm.
before 4:30.
Hmm.
And but the restrooms happen to be past the gates, and I just had to stand my ground, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also could have just been like, you know what, just don't tell anybody and be quick. I could have, but I didn't, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, this
But
guy had to just go and find a different restroom. Yeah,
yeah. And if that guy gets caught sneaking in, he's not going to get yelled at. You're going to get yelled at. He's not going to
I
stand
would
there and
have.
be like, I will take this yelling on her behalf,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, because I had
So,
chronic diarrhea, and I was yelling out of my ass for the last 30 minutes, so it's okay to get yelled at to my face. It's okay. It's totally
yeah.
fine. I could handle it.
That should have
Yeah.
been your rule of like you can go in the bathroom, but you cannot leave until 4:31. Like that's it. You have to stay in there this whole
Stay in
time
there
and then make
with
it seem like you just went in. So it's up to you. If you want to spend the next half an hour in the bathroom, I will let you. Otherwise, you're on your own.
That's a better solution. See, that's what he should have said. It's like, sir, you can go in. It's 4:05, but you can't come out for the next 26 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like,
My
that's no
favorite.
problem. I'm gonna be there for at least 36 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, "Could I take the hour actually? I can eliminate it."
I'll be out at 5:05. My friends will be
Yeah.
done with their dinner by then, but I only came to use the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "I'll take something to go when they're
Yeah, yeah,
ready to
yeah.
leave."
Just wrap it up. It's fine. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for everything. I'll pay for everybody's dinner. No, it was a thing. Now, if I was on that Reddit forum, yeah, what would you say? Who's the asshole there? I probably would have been the asshole, right? I have a feeling I would have been the asshole.
Um, I would have said either no, yeah, I would have said either not the asshole or no assholes here, because it's not your fault. But if you really want to label someone as the asshole, your boss is the asshole. It's
Yeah,
not, but like it also depends on, so he called you my friend. What happened after you said no? Did he take it in stride and slowly walk out to find somewhere else, or did he yell at you? Like
that's what he
that
did. He the
factors
first
in.
thing.
He yelled at
Yeah.
you. Okay,
No, no, no.
then
He
he's
didn't
an
yell at me. He did the first thing.
okay.
He took it in stride and looked for another bathroom.
Yeah.
He
So
was
then,
a
yeah,
total
no
sport.
assholes here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's the system's fault. It's often the system's fault.
Exactly.
It's really not the
Exactly.
people's fault. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
There's
Thank you for that
there's a lot
assessment.
of there's a lot of medical, whenever there's a medical post on Am I the Asshole, it's
Mm,
always no assholes here. The system is messed up and everyone who's not in America is very upset that there are these medical issues related to the
yeah.
our broken healthcare system.
Yeah, yeah. And that's like an ongoing problem in New York City too. Is like there are no public toilets, you know. There's like And in LA too, like, in
Mhm.
any urban city really, like they have like punch codes. You have to have a
Mhm.
receipt, and
Mhm.
it's like it's like an anti-homeless thing, really.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a larger systemic thing. It's not only the restaurant system, but also the city system and social
Mhm.
system, blah blah blah. Okay. All right.
There's certain codes that I have like written down in case I need them again, so I don't have to
Yeah, you
ask someone
tattooed it on
again.
your forearm in case of an
Yeah.
emergency. Yeah, yeah.
But like I go to my dentist's office and I'm like, I know that code. I don't have to ask them. I go on my way in now.
Yeah. And it's like even that, like the fact that you have to ask, you know,
Mhm.
it's like they created this extra hurdle that
Mhm.
requires this uncomfortable exchange
Mhm.
and and to confirm that you purchased something
Mhm.
in order to take care of a biological issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Even
very
worse
inhumane.
are the times where there's a key that you have to hand back and forth. It's like, oh,
Oh
so
my
you get
God.
my start and end times from me now? Like you're getting a full
Uh-huh.
schedule of
Yeah.
how long I've been in there?
Yeah. No, I worked at this is also in New York. I worked at this New York deli where the key was attached to a giant ladle so that people would not forget it or lose it.
Uh-huh.
But it's like such a thing. It's like, oh, so you have diarrhea now. Like you got business. Like you gotta hand you this fucking ladle over the register, like, and we're like elevated, so we're like looking down. It's like a thing, like,
Uh-huh.
oh my, it was so awful. It was awful for everybody. And now it's like I have to touch this fucking ladle that was in your
Yeah.
bathroom. I don't know what the fuck went on in there. It's like, oh God.
I
It's
also feel like
terrible.
it's a mistake to give someone any scoopable item to bring into a toilet. Like what?
Good God. You're
Like
so
you
right.
you really gotta trust people aren't doing anything weird with that.
Yeah, no, good God. Oh my God. Yeah, New York's such a fucked up city. Thank God I don't live there anymore. Okay.
Is
No,
it?
okay.
I've never lived there. I kind of think I would love it, but I'm unsure.
You know what? It is a really fun city. I will say that. It's super fun. It's very beautiful. When you don't see like, people shitting on the streets or anything, like, or on the train. Aside from the disgusting stuff, it is very like beautiful. Like at night, you get a beautiful view. It's like a city you could walk in all the time. Like if you have errands, like let's say a list of errands, like in LA, let's say you have 3 errands. That's the whole day. The whole day is gone, right? In New York, you could take care of 8 errands in an hour. That's
Oh
not
my God.
even that's not even like I'm not exaggerating. That's a truth. It's like I could handle all 8 things within like, I don't know, 10 blocks radius. I could take care of all of it just walking in an hour. Be really fast and efficient. And that's the beautiful thing about the city. But it's also brutal. Like it's very expensive. Everything's crazy
Yeah.
expensive, you know. Uh
So you're gonna feel bad, but you're gonna be quick about it, is what I'm getting from
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna die real fast, but you'll be efficient. You'll enjoy your time, and it's like people in New York are funny. Like they're hilarious.
Mhm.
Like you get a lot of stand-ups in New York because everybody's hilarious because everybody
Mhm.
is suffering. Yeah, and and they're just surrounded by funny people all the time. Yeah.
Mhm. Everyone's like, I need this. I actually need a laugh, so let's make it
Yeah,
happen.
it's a survival thing. 100%. 100%. Like, my friends in New York, they're not comedians, but they're hilarious. Like, they're the funniest people. Like, I'll go to lunch with them, I'm dying. They're
Oh
not on
man.
stage ever, but I'm
I
dying.
love that and
Yeah.
also hate that. I'm like, damn it, why do you make it look so easy to be this funny?
Yeah. So it's the environment a lot of the times. Is the
Mhm.
environment, it's like the rhythm of the surroundings, their families, their
Mhm.
friends, and it's like it's ingrained in New Yorkers. And,
Mhm.
that's why New Yorkers have so much pride and arrogance and protectiveness around that label as a New Yorker. I feel like I'm in the process of shedding that in a lot of ways right now because my life is like right now, like I'm unemployed. I sit around like fucking in yoga pants like 80% of the time. And yeah,
I mean, I see
I,
nothing wrong with that. So
yeah, you're right. There is nothing wrong with that. I tell myself this all
I
the time.
I would
Yeah.
love to be the first comedian to have a special wearing sweatpants. That would be amazing.
They don't have that yet? Are you serious?
I mean, I don't know. Is there like I feel like it's like most people are at least wearing a jumpsuit of some sort. But I'm like, if I
That's
could look like
true.
a hobo during
Yeah,
my
yeah,
that would be ideal, you know?
yeah, yeah. Like sweats and Crocs with socks.
Oh man,
That's the
the perfect.
album
I mean,
title. Sweats with
we-
Crocs and socks. Yeah, yeah.
everyone would be like, "Oh, my Sunday. I see. I see."
Your Sunday, it's like all 7 days of the week for me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now for sure.
I'm cherishing
They're
this time.
oh, 100%. I'm
Hmm.
like some people are like, "I really want to get back into the office and see people in person." I'm like, "I see enough of
Wow.
you actually. I'm all right. I think I'm okay."
Are you going into work or you're at home, right? In
No,
work?
I'm home. Yeah, home.
Yeah.
There
Fuck.
there
I
was a couple times I've been in, but that's it. I actually started this job during the pandemic, so I've only been into the office like twice and like only met
really.
people I work with twice. And I'm like, yeah, I think that was enough. So,
Yeah. Uh, I think that's sort of what makes working horrible is going to an office where you're trapped with a bunch of people that you would never hang out with outside of
mhm,
this
mhm,
obligation and
mhm,
pretending to like them or
mhm,
respect them. Oh,
mhm. It's a lot like a family in some ways, you
oh my
know.
God. It's a prison. Yeah. It's a fucking
Yeah.
prison. Families are a prison. Offices are a prison. They're, they're all a prison.
They're all part of the military industrial complex. No, they're not, but you know what I mean.
In a way, they are. In a way, they're all associated. Yeah, they all fuel one another. Yes. Okay. I do this at the end of all of my podcast episodes. So I'm going to ask you a few flashcard questions based on a
Cool.
specific Korean drama, and
Okay.
you would just answer what you would do if you were this person in this situation, and just you don't have to take any of the questions seriously. Be lighthearted about it. Okay. So the show we're going to talk about is called "Now We're Breaking Up." It's a 2021 Korean drama. It ended January 2022, 16 episodes, starring some big ass names. Very popular. It was very intense. I was like, whoa, this is a very intense show. A lot of very juicy. Yes. Yeah, I appreciated it. I binged it and I finished it late last night, actually. So here we go. Let's say you're a hotshot fashion designer named Ha Young-eun, and you're at a fashion event at a party, and you meet a guy whose name you don't know, but he's hot, so attractive, and uh, and you guys fuck, y'all hook up, and then you leave, and he's like, "What's your name?" You didn't tell him because it's like it doesn't matter. It's one night stand, one night thing, never gonna happen again. You leave, and then you see him at another fashion event, and he's introduced to you as a really famous fashion photographer named Yoon Chae-guk, and and you're encountering him in person, but you're pretending like you don't know him. But he's doing the same thing and he's pretending like he doesn't know you either. What do you do?
I think that's ideal. I mean, the weirdest part to me about this story is me as a fashion designer based on our conversation about sweatpants. But um
Yeah.
I think that people that you have previously dated or hooked up with when people are like, oh, it's so awkward to see them again, it's awkward when you both make it or one of you makes it awkward, you know? It's like if you
Mm,
decide to just be chill with this person,
yeah.
then like no one needs to, but it's hard because you both have to decide to be chill. So
Yeah.
if fashion photographer and I are both being chill, I'd be like, this is delightful. I would in my heart be like, but he's pining for me still, right? Like, you know, because we all still need that, you know.
Yeah.
So I would still look for those clues to, you know, make myself feel better and convince myself that that was true. But if I would be like, all right, this is ideal. This is a great scenario. It would for
Okay.
sure bother me because I would be like, oh no, this person has information about me that I don't
Yeah.
want other people to
Mm.
have. But I clearly
Mhm.
already made that decision by sleeping with someone that I met at the event. So
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So you're gonna be adult about it and not communicate and yeah, ignore.
100%.
Okay. Got it. Very good. Very healthy. Yes. All right.
When has
Let
communication ever helped anything?
no,
So
it ruins everything. Ugh. Yeah. All right. So let's say now you're the photographer. You're the photographer
mhm.
Yoon Chae-guk, okay? When you were in your 20s, living in Paris, you were a struggling photographer selling prints on the street. and your friend was watching the stand that day while you were away taking care of business. And when you got back to the stand, you find that one of the photographs you took of a dark, wet Parisian alley with lights that was sold, and um, it was purchased by somebody you don't know who. But
Hmm.
then you see a photograph on this woman, Hayoungun's phone, that fashion lady, and it's that photograph that you took that you sold years ago. She's the woman who bought your picture 10 years ago. What do you do?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask follow-up questions to this. Does
you can.
he like her? Does he want to date her?
I mean, y'all fucked, because you found each other attractive at the very least.
Yeah.
So there's some tension there.
Okay. I feel like if I were him, if she felt cold to me, then I feel like I would be like, oh, it's weird if I bring it up to her because she's
Mm,
gonna think that I'm trying to get like an in with her, you know.
mm.
And so, but if she is being equally chill, then I would just be like, oh my God, isn't this crazy? Like that's my photo. Like, what are the odds? And then just
Interesting.
like play it off as the most casual thing in the world, you know?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you need
Is it
some opening. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
it weird? Is it suspicious? Like, is he upset that his photo was sold, or like
No,
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 like
he was like
nobody's taking credit for his photo or anything. He's
pleasantly
just like,
surprised. He was pleasantly
okay,
surprised. Yeah.
yeah. I would
And then
also, but how
yeah.
he got it? He looked at her phone. Was
Like
he suspiciously looking at her phone, or
no,
was
no,
the
no.
background, or?
No. Actually, no, like so they're now kind of like in a professionally working kind of relationship at this point, because he's a fashion
Hmm.
photographer, she works in fashion, they're like in the same offices and shit.
Hmm.
And they were like talking and stuff, and she sent him a photo, that photo, and it was
Okay.
like, "Oh, like I look at this photo whenever I feel down. Maybe it'll bring you some encouragement." So she definitely
Wow.
gave him an in on a
Oh
conversation
yeah.
about the photo, and
I would
he was,
100% tell her.
mm, okay, all
I
right. Let's
mean, I
say,
don't.
yeah, no, go ahead.
Like I feel like it's almost not it's almost more weird if he doesn't tell her, because then it's
Yeah,
like, why didn't you share this information with me? Like, because
yeah,
it's not like she I don't yeah, I would, and you have to share right then and there, because if you tell her like 2 days later, it's like, well, that's weird that you didn't respond, like, or tell me. And now, like, I would at that point be like, are you taking credit for this photo that like is somebody else? I would find it suspicious if it came up
yeah.
later.
That's true because she bought it like it was like an anonymous photographer. Like he didn't have his name on it or
Hmm.
anything, so it's hard to know. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So if
All
he
right, let's
told me right
say,
away, I'd be like, "Oh, that's his."
yeah,
But if he waited to tell me, I'd be like, "Oh, he decided this was his
yeah.
later."
He
Like,
thought
that's
about it.
suspicious. Yeah.
Mm, he's plotting. He's ploying. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right. So you got some trust issues as a lady. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 Let's say you're Youngun again. All right. You're the designer. You and this guy Jaeguk, you guys like each other. Okay. You guys are into each other. All right. But you have not dated anybody in the last 10 years because the last guy you were with, you dated him for 2 months. It was an intense relationship, but he stood you up one night and never showed up. And he never called you to explain anything. He just vanished from your life.
Mhm.
And then you find out that this guy, Cheguk, is actually that guy's younger brother.
Oh my God.
Not only that, not only that, but that other guy who stood you up that night, he actually died in a car accident that very night he stood you up while he was on his
Oh
way
my
to
God.
meet you. What do you do?
That's insane. That's so funny because I would have pretended that guy died, because I would have been like, cool, like, I don't know what happened, but so I guess he died. Like, and it's like, so then finding that out that he did actually die, I'd be like, I was right. Like, oh my God. Um,
Whoa.
I don't know. Yeah. Where would where did this was she in love with the original guy? Like they were, or like, that's so hard, because then it's like, yeah, that's I would, if I had forgiven the first person, the first guy, then I would be like, oh, am I betraying them by being
Mm-hmm.
with their brother? Like, would they be upset by that? But
Mm-hmm.
also, like, if it's only a 2-month thing,
Mm-hmm.
then like, how much do I really owe them? and like
Right.
maybe they would be happy for me that like me and their brother would be happy, you know? So
Hmm.
I feel like if I had not fallen for someone in 10 years, I wouldn't
Yeah.
pass that up pretty quick, pretty easily.
Yeah. 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 The stakes are high here.
I'd
Okay.
be like, do the in-laws know? Because it's like, like, if the in-laws are gonna give me shit for dating both brothers, then that's gonna
Oh,
suck. Like,
we'll get
but
to that. Mm,
I
I'm telling you, this drama is so juicy. I was like, what?
love it.
I kind of have a migraine from binging it, honestly. I had a migraine since yesterday, and I was like, why do I have this migraine? I was like, I think it's because I was binging this very intense show. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
it's
say
emotional.
it is. It's a lot. I was crying my eyes out. I was like, oh, this is so much. This is too intense. I
You're
can't.
dehydrated.
I,
That's
I
why
need
your
water. That's
headache.
the thing. I need a Gatorade. Yeah. Let's say you're a woman named Shin Yu-jung, somebody else, all right? You're the managing director of a major department store called The Hills. 10 years ago, you were engaged to a man named Suwan, but he started two-timing you with another lady named Youngun in Paris for 2 months.
No.
And he wanted to break up with you, break off the engagement in order to be with Youngun. And now Youngun is the head designer of a brand named Sono, and Sono is asking you to renew their contract in your department store so that they can continue selling their clothes in your store. What do you do?
I would need to know if Youngun knew that I existed.
Mm,
Because if she didn't know,
yeah,
then it's not her fault. Like, because in general, it's never like the person who is like the it's like my husband is the one who cheated on me. My husband is the one who broke this promise to me.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
the one I should be mad at, not this other woman.
right,
Even if they did know, like they don't necessarily owe anything to me. It's
yeah,
still not great. I don't think you're a great person,
yeah,
but if you're not the one who like did this to me because
yeah,
they would have found somebody else to do it with if that's who they
right.
are, you know.
That's
But if
true.
so so like even technically if she did know, technically I shouldn't let it affect me, but I still probably would let it affect me if she knew. But if
Oh,
I was like no, she had no idea I existed, then I would renew the contract. If she did know I existed, then I would start to think it from a business perspective. Like, am I doing better by renewing, or am I doing better by not renewing?
okay. Wow. You're really
Like, how much of a hit am I going to take?
yeah. No, you're really fast at coming to to deducing like a problem and getting to the bottom of it. You're very fast at that. Yeah, yeah. It's a good
Thank
skill.
you.
Yeah. For the record, she did not know. She is just as much a
Okay.
victim as you are. Okay.
Then yeah, I wouldn't blame her for it because
Hmm.
but it's also I'm saying this emotionally removed from the situation.
Exactly.
I understand why people would not make the best decision when emotions get involved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
like, I'm not faulting anyone who would. I'm just saying, in an ideal scenario, I would be like, no, we're both victims of this person, so
Right.
it's not your fault.
Right. As a third party removed, it's easy to think and feel that way.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So let's say you're the photographer guy Chaeguk again. You know something that Youngun doesn't know. You know that your brother Suan was engaged to another woman while he was dating Youngun. You know that he died the night that he was on his way to see her. He was driving in the rain and he died. While he was driving to her to break up with her, he called you and he said that he was on his way to break up with Youngun, but he never got to say this. You're now in love with this lady, and you know that she's the ex girlfriend of your dead older brother. What do you do?
If I were her, I would want to know. So I assume people want to know, and so I would feel like I want to tell her.
Mm,
I could understand why you would be like, oh, is this going to ruin my chances if I tell her? But I
hmm,
also feel like if I were her and I got that news that he was going to break up with me, I would be like, wow, I guess like I'd feel terrible that I'd like wasted, not wasted, but like, not been open to something else for the last 10 years because it's like,
Mm.
wow, they didn't even, so it would be devastating for her for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it would maybe get some closure of like, yeah, this is done. I feel like it would make her feel less guilty about dating the brother
Mhm.
because then, but then I'm like, oh, is that selfish of the brother to tell her then because he's doing it for his own benefit? But I feel like would go the route of people want to know things.
Mm. Okay.
I feel like there are some times where it's like, no, this is a white lie and I'm not going to let them know. But
For
I
sure.
feel like in general, I would tend to assume people want to know.
Yeah. Okay. The truth. The truth
Hmm.
matters. Okay.
Sets you free.
It does sometimes. Truth is relative in other cases, I feel like, but yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Let's say you're youngin and you decide that you're not going to deny yourself of love anymore and you start dating this guy Cheguk even though he's your dead ex two-time ex-boyfriend's younger brother. Now,
Hmm.
Cheguk's mom calls you over to her house and tells you to stop dating her only living son because if you don't stop, she will kill herself. What do you do?
I'd be like, what's that saying? Don't threaten me with a good time. I don't, like, I feel like, because at first when you said that, I was like, oh, so like now I'm gonna have to deal with this mother-in-law that doesn't want to date, doesn't want me to date her son. But I'm like, oh, but now you're gonna remove yourself as like the problem. Like, I don't know. This feels like a like why are you giving me exactly my solution that I need here? So
Yeah.
I feel like I would tell the son. I'd be like, okay, let them decide, like cuz it's like
Uh,
if they cuz also if they are like, oh yeah, my mom's really important and like I don't want to uh put her through that. I'd be like, cool, I know that I'm never going to be your primary person then and I don't want to
mm,
deal with you dealing with your mom and trying to
mm,
like be second place to that. So like I'd be like, all right, cool, I've dodged a bullet here. And but then if they stand up for
yeah.
you, then hopefully they will put their mom on suicide watch and they will not kill themselves. But
Yeah.
so,
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, it's actually a good test of character
hmm,
and
hmm,
love. Yeah, yeah. No,
yeah.
that's excellent. Wow. Okay. All right, then let's say you're Cheguk, the son, and you find out that your mom threatened to kill herself if Youngun continues to see you. Like she took your girlfriend aside and said this to her
Hmm,
to be manipulative towards the both of you. What do you
hmm,
do?
hmm. I would be like, if you're gonna be in my life, you can't be making decisions like that for me. This is my
Mm,
life, and like
mm-hmm.
I want you in it, but I don't want you going behind my back and doing all this stuff.
Mm.
But I say that as someone who already doesn't talk to people in their family, so it's pretty easy for me to
Yeah.
make that statement. I feel like
Yeah.
people who are much closer, it would be really
Yeah.
hard to do that. And I feel
Sure.
like he would have to be sure she was the one, like that he
Yeah.
really was like, I see myself being with this person,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm anything that I tell my mom, any boundary I set, I'm going to have to stick to it. So I must be willing to follow through on whatever I say.
Okay. Very prudent, very logical, pragmatic. Okay. Diplomatic. Yeah. Yeah, you would be a good diplomat. You should be a politician. I think you'd be good
I
at
think I
that.
would be I
Yeah.
think I'd be furious all the time if
Yeah.
I was a politician. I'd be like, everybody here is an idiot.
No, or
It's
maybe law
fine to
school. I
say.
could see you at law school or something like that.
I could see that
You're very good.
if
You're
I
fast.
started to
Maybe
hate life, I would
maybe
see that.
this Reddit reading thing every night got your brain working in a very like good like very decisive like way, like
Yeah,
fair way. Like how do I balance you'd be a good judge, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Okay,
also been
final.
watching a
Yeah.
lot of Law and Order SVU, so
Okay,
that's
there
probably
it is. That's what
helping.
it is. Yeah, it's the balance of these two things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Reddit forum and then yeah, the show. Okay, all right. Final question.
Exactly.
Final question. All right. So you're Youngun, the fashion designer. Your brand Sono is doing very well. All right, like it broke all the expectations, all the odds. It's fucking kicking ass. But your best friend is dying of pancreatic cancer. She has a husband and a 7-year-old daughter. She's dying, stage 4. Your parents are getting a divorce, and Your mom and Chaeguk's mom are harassing you and Chaeguk, trying to pry you guys apart. They're both being fucking heinous, all right? The CEO of the company that you work in offers you a deal to take Sono and become an independent brand, and he's going to support you in every which way. In midst of all this, Chaeguk says that he has a photography exhibition in Paris, and he's also sick of all the bullshit here, and he
Mhm.
asks you to move to Paris with him. What do you do?
I feel like I would choose the contract, the fashion design thing, because I feel like I not. This is gonna sound like I don't love, but I do. I feel like if you love someone, you will make it work with them. Or, and you can also love someone and your life and their life don't match up. And it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that you don't love them. It just means that you guys, unfortunately, are not fit to be together forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I would be like, if where your life is taking you is not where my life is taking me, then I love you. But like, I don't if I give up this the other thing that I love to be with you, I will resent you as soon as I do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like then any time that you do something that to make me slightly unhappy, I'll remember what I gave up for this and like I don't think I can do it, you know?
Mm.
And I'm like, maybe that's petty. Like maybe I'm
No,
not good at letting that
it's not.
go. But I I just think that like I have heard of relationships of people where it's like, yeah, I really love them, but like their life was taking them this direction and my life was going this direction and there was no time that it was gonna
Mm-hmm.
meet up again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I love him, but I also loved my work, and I fucking got pregnant with his baby, and now look at me.
Mhm.
A lot of that.
Mhm.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, and it's
Okay.
that thing of like, you know, that men are taught to be someone and women are taught to find someone. And so
Mm,
like would feel like, oh, I'm like defining myself by this relationship instead of this other thing that I love that I've built for myself.
yeah, yeah. Very good. It's a good seminar on how to be a modern working woman and handle relationships. For the
This is all
record,
ideal scenario in a
it
vacuum,
is. It is.
obviously.
I mean,
So,
it's a fucking it's a TV show. It's a fantasy. You know, like
mhm,
come on. Like from the way this was going, it's like this would have ended like episode one. Like you know,
mhm,
the moment she walks out and says like, "No, I'm not gonna give you my name or my number," like a relationship's over. You know, like there's
yeah.
no way. This has been the trend lately that's been frustrating. It's like I see a lot more K-dramas lately where the women are a little more like modern women and they
Mhm,
are open to one night stands. But the problem is it
mhm,
doesn't end at a one night stand. It
mhm,
becomes a full-blown relationship. And I'm like, "Oh, honey,
mhm.
like if this is the message that you're sending to our young women, boy, are you fucking yeah, no. There are a lot of rotten apples at the bottom of this, crate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because sometimes it
I
does
am very
work,
aware.
right? Like sometimes it does, but like I've had one night stands that did not end at one night stands. That's for sure. And I've had one night stands where it ended up into a relationship. That for sure. However, it's very rare. Like
Mhm,
very
mhm.
rare. It's
Like when I
rarely the
run the
case.
numbers, yeah.
It's not the case. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And it's
Julia.
also,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No,
No,
I was gonna say it's also like sometimes that's all you want from that person and that's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it doesn't need to be anything more than that.
Yeah,
So
I just got blackout drunk deliberately in order to have get knocked up, and I'm gonna just have your baby. I never want to see you again. Yeah. That would be a
exactly.
good K-drama. That would be the show I want to see. A show about that single mother and her baby. Yeah. Fuck. All right. No, this was great. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.